Press the bell icon and never miss an update from ET Auto.
Hello and welcome to ET Auto. Honda Cars India Limited, which had not so great year FY 17-18. This year with the launch of Amaze, the car maker seems to be coming on revival track. We have here with us Director Sales and Marketing, Mr. Rajesh Goel, to put more light on the company's strategy. Welcome to ET Auto, sir.
Thank you.
We have seen that after a very rough year, Honda seems to be coming back on track in terms of sales volume. You have now three products doing very good. How do you see this? Do you think, what are the steps are you taking to continue the momentum, and do you expect again come to your third position that you once hold after the launch of previous edition of Amaze and diesel engine?
So thank you very much, and yes, we have been able to do great numbers so far in this fiscal, and we hope that we will carry the momentum forward because I see a lot of traction for our new Amaze along with our two other very popular City as well as WRV. Amaze has been very nicely accepted by the customers in India thanks to the bigness that it offers under 4 meters. And it's very radical styling, which customers have taken a liking to. Interestingly, Amaze has created a few trends which surprised me. For example, I may be wrong with the numbers by a few percentage points, but roughly 15 to 20%, although it's a sedan, of my customers are first time buyers of the car. In this segment, to the best of my knowledge, of course after dieselization has come down, 30% of our sales are contributed by diesel and 30% are contributed by automatics, because we have now the CVT both in petrol and diesel. So it has created quite a buzz in the market, and we hope, looking at the numbers and the back orders that we have, this trend will continue. Fortunately for us, City, although it's in the 4th year, but it's a very strong product. Both in terms of looks and in terms of feature related competitiveness that it offers vis-a-vis competition, so which is also doing very good numbers considering that it's in the slightly more than 4th year of operation. So that is what it is. And finally, to your final comment of regaining number 3, you see, we don't target any position in the market. We have our own numbers. We are happy to achieve our targets, and my target is to grow more than the industry this year.
So Honda has a long-standing target to achieve 3 lakh unit. Do you think this is the year when you can achieve? Because this is for the first time probably when Honda has 3 products which is doing good. Probably there could be an impact on City because it's an older model, but do you think this is the best year to achieve that target?
Nobody would be happier than me to say yes to this question. What I can say is this year would be a very sound stepping stone to move towards our wish of achieving 300,000 in a year. However, we must appreciate that we did 170,000 cars in the last fiscal, and 170 to 300,000 is a slightly tall leap to achieve in just one fiscal year. But like I said, we seem to be on sound footing, and this would be a definite stepping board for us to move towards our target of 300,000.
When do you think it will be achievable?
I think we have we intend to grow more than the market every year consistently. So I think that should give you a fair number. I don't have a year now, but I'm sure it is not going to happen before 2-3 years from now.
So how do you see the launch of new Ciaz? Do you think it will further impact the sales of City, and what is your strategy to deal with that?
So I think the City segment has seen a lot of competition, a lot of buzz. We created this segment initially with this sedan, and now we have at least 3 other players which are equally strong, and a few others. With the MMC of the Ciaz, I do believe it's a very strong product. However, having said that, City is one product which, not because I work for Honda, but is a product I can swear by. The current City has competitiveness to compete even with the full model change today, because it has still in its fourth year, very contemporary design appeal. On feature competitiveness.
So, going forward, you said that it is achievable 3 lakh. What is your product launch plan? Do you want to add more? Because your Brio segment you have emptied. Is there a plan to go there? What are you going to do about Jazz?
So you see, we had announced that we will be launching 6 new models in the next 3 years, 3 of which are planned for this year. The first of which was the Amaze. The second is the full model change of CRV, which we plan to launch in the festive season. And finally, within this fiscal, there will be the Civic. And we have 3 more models which will include full model changes. So I think that lineup should give us a lot of strength to gain further numbers as additional or incremental numbers as well.
Apart from the existing segments where you are present, which are the other segment you think has potential and where you would like to be or wish to be there?
I think the global market is moving towards a trend of SUVs. Given the complexion of the Indian market, having said SUVs, there is not one single SUV which is a one-stop solution. You need to look at SUVs in each segment, and we are closely studying the market. Currently, we cater to the market with the WRV and the BRV and the CRV, which is coming in October. My personal belief is, although CRV segment numbers are small, but the new CRV is an extremely strong product. The interiors offer a luxurious feel which is comparable to much more expensive cars, and the contemporary styling and the ride feeling is absolutely uncomparable. So that will be a good start point for us to start with our
You are not present in the compact SUV segment. Do you plan to get into that? Where Hyundai Creta is there, Maruti Suzuki Brezza is there.
Okay, so it depends on everybody's different classification, but we do have a product which is the WRV, and it has good traction. It has been giving me good numbers. We did close to 50,000 in the last fiscal, and like I said, SUV is a trend which is going to stay. So we are looking at all segments within the SUV segment, and at a reasonable time we should be able to come out and tell you exactly which segments we are concretely looking to launch products in.
So you have launched BRV and there was a Mobilio. That segment you tried with 2 products, but what has been the reason that it didn't take off so massively, or it didn't work out according to the expectation? What went wrong?
You see, car business is a slightly long lead time business, as you would know. So you develop a product, by the time you get it to the market, you spend 40 months, and then depending on market shifts, you have to make adjustments. Regarding the BRV, it does cater to a typical customer segment, and there is still a segment, certain areas, cities, towns in the country where customers come to our showroom specifically looking for the BRV. Yes, if you ask me in terms of volumes, I would have been happier with a slightly larger number. So we keep learning from whatever we do and then incorporating it in the next product that we will develop.
Okay, so looking at the segment, MPV segment, that has been one of the growing, and we continue to see one dominating player, another, your Japanese counterpart, is leading that space. It's been quite some time, nobody is able to entrench into that. What could be the reason? What is the possible reason why nobody is able to enter that space?
I'm sorry, are you talking about the larger SUVs?
I'm talking about the MPVs, like Innova segment. So where Innova continue to be the leader. So do you have aspiration to be able to make a mark in that space?
You see, as a marketeer, I would like to be present in any and every segment which gives me numbers and which makes good business sense. The only difference is we may have our own different opinions about how much we may want to be present in the taxi or the commercial side of the segment, and that if it's going to decide numbers, then the attractiveness of that particular model from a Honda perspective doesn't remain as attractive.
What kind of volume do you expect this year?
Like I mentioned in the beginning, I would, please don't restrict me to a number. I would like to do as many cars, but definitely plan to outperform the market without a doubt.
That's your main target. Coming back the policy and the transition that is taking place in the automobile space, where do you see yourself fitting into it? Is electric or any other alternate fuel option that you look at?
Honda view basically is that we have every technology, be it hybrid, plug-in hybrid, pure electric vehicles as well as fuel cell vehicles, and we can bring the technology suitably into India. However, since the entire purpose of getting into electrification is to reduce the carbon footprint in the country, it would be useful to look at a mix of technologies depending on the energy mix ratio. For example, if energy is produced purely by thermal sources, in such a scenario, to have a pure battery electric vehicle on an end-to-end basis will be CO2 level similar to a fully hybrid vehicle, whereas investments and commitments involved are much higher. So our request has always been that we should look at a suitable ratio of technologies based on the energy mix, and I think we have had a positive dialogue going between industry and government. Hopefully starting from the Global Mobility Summit tomorrow, more positive messages and directions will emerge.
So where Honda tries to venture into, is it going to be hybrid to start with, or you think, like you just said that you put a very valid point that if you are generating energy through not cleaner means, then there's no point bringing electrification or electrified vehicle. Then what is the really option? What is the stop gap arrangement that you look at?
So first of all, one correction, I did not say it is not a good option. The option of electric vehicle is always good. It's a clean vehicle. It is just that at a lower investment, hybrid may also be able to give you a similar CO2 level. And we, like I said, have all technologies available. We were the first company to launch a hybrid vehicle, the Civic, almost 10 years ago. And depending on, we also have a quad hybrid which we sell in the country. So depending on the market demand and the policy framework, we are ready to bring in and increase volumes of whatever the market demands.
Thank you so much, Rajesh.
Thank you, Nabil San. Thank you so much.